Alright, this is the length we need. After finishing the ears, we continue knitting upwards. Here, I'm using 90 stitches for the small size. So, we've knitted 18 centimeters here. Measure from the brim upwards. It's 18 centimeters. Yes, 18 centimeters. Now, we'll start circular knitting. Time to shape the crown. In the round, we'll divide the stitches into 10 equal sections. Since I have 90 stitches, each section will have 9 stitches. First, slip the first stitch. Swap the last stitch with the first stitch. This connects the round. Move the first stitch to the last position by swapping like this. There won't be a gap. It makes the join tighter. Now, we start knitting. Tighten the yarn. We have 90 stitches. Each section has 9 stitches. Knit normally for 7 stitches. Knit the last 2 stitches together. If you started with 94 or 96 stitches, first, trim the extra stitches to make a multiple of 10. Cut off the excess, then start knitting. Divide the stitches into 10 sections. For example, if you cast on 94 stitches, decrease for stitches in this round. In the next round, divide into 10 sections and decrease again. Decrease every other round. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good. Knit stitches 8 and 9 together. K2. Continue. That's one section done. Next section. Now, each section has 8 stitches. 2, 4, 6, 8. Moving on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Knit stitches 8 and 9 together. Decrease 1 stitch. Continue to the next section. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Knit 2 together, stitch 8 and 9. Finish the round this way. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Knit the last 2 stitches together. That completes the decrease. Now that we've decreased, this round will be knitted normally. There's a small gap here. Let's close it. Knit a stitch here. Twist it slightly. This helps tighten the gap. Knit all stitches normally for this round. Decrease every other round. Knit this round normally. Alright, finish this round on your own. Now we've completed the round. This round is knitted without increases or decreases. Moving on to round 3. We will continue decreasing in this round. In the previous round, each section had 8 stitches left. This follows the pattern. For this decrease round, knit 6 stitches first. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, knit stitches 7 and 8 together. Keep decreasing along this line. This forms a straight decrease line. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Knit stitches 7 and 8 together. For the last stitch, it overlaps with the previous decrease. Knit it together with the previous stitch. Like this keeps the decrease line straight. Okay, again, 2, 3, 4, 5. Knit stitches 6 and 7 together. We started with 90 stitches, then decreased to 80. Now we have 70 stitches left. Each section now has 7 stitches. 9 stitches became 8. Then 8 stitches became 7. After each decrease round, knit 1 normal round. No increases or decreases. Once this round is done, we will move to the third decrease round. Watch closely. Follow the same pattern. Decrease once, then knit 1 round. Continue decreasing every other round. Now each section has 7 stitches. Now, knit the first 5 stitches as usual. Knit the last 2 stitches together, K2T. Alright, the first 5 stitches for the back part. Take the cut yarn strand, hold it together with the front stitch, and trim it forward. Trim 1 more stitch. Now for the next set of stitches. Knit the first 5 stitches as usual. 3, 4, 5, then K2 tog to decrease by 1 stitch. Follow this pattern. Decrease every other row by knitting 2 stitches together. Continue decreasing. After this decrease, continue on your own. The pattern remains the same. Knit 2 together in each row. Every other row, decrease 1 stitch per section. Each set decreases. 10 stitches are divided into 10 groups. In each group, shift 1 stitch forward. Now, continue knitting on your own. 9 stitches become 8. 8 stitches become 7. 7 stitches become 6. On the next row, 6 stitches become 5. Decrease 1 stitch forward every other row. Continue decreasing until only 2 stitches remain. At that point, knit 1 round without decreasing. Decrease every other row. When only 2 stitches are left, K2, each section should now have only 2 stitches. Continue knitting. In this row, do not decrease, just knit normally. Each section now has 2 stitches remaining. Keep decreasing ... until each section has only 1 stitch left. Now, only 2 stitches remain. After the final decrease, we will secure the yarn and knit 1 last round. Back at the starting point now. Continue decreasing this row. Now, each section has 2 stitches left. Knit 2 together, K2T. Trim the yarn. Now, all sections have their final K2T. All stitches are knit 2 together. That means each section now has only 1 stitch left. Final K2 tog. Count how many sections we made. That's how many stitches remain. If we had 9 sections, 9 stitches remain. If we had 10 sections, 10 stitches remain, and so on. For 100 stitches, divide into 10 or 11 groups to decrease faster. Decreasing in sections makes it quicker. Knit 2 together, K2 tog across. Continue decreasing. Final K2 tog. All done. We divided into 9 groups. Now, only 9 stitches remain. Cut the yarn. Leave a long tail. Use a tapestry needle. Thread the needle through the remaining stitches. Pull through while tightening. Decreases follow a pattern. Decrease every other row. After the final round, cut the yarn. Each section has 1 stitch left. This is the top of the hat. Sew the edges together, including the ear. Now, let's thread it through again. Thread 1 stitch. Thread it through 1 more time. This way, the yarn will be pulled tighter. The stitches will look fuller and neater. Thread it back again. All right. Now, pull everything tight, tighten it up. Once it's done, we'll weave in the ends on the wrong side. This is the crown of our hat. Yes, this is the top of the hat. Now, weave in the ends on the wrong side. Secure the yarn tail on the inside. Tie a knot. All right, now hide it inside. Weave in the yarn tail a bit farther. This way, it won't come loose easily. All right, cut the yarn. This part of the hat is done. It's finished. Now, we will sew it together. For the hat, we will sew the edge and the ear flaps together. Now, I will teach you how to pick up stitches for this bag. Okay, now we will show you how to pick up stitches. Make a slip knot. Start from the first stitch. Here at the first loop, pick up the chain stitch, pull it through, insert the needle into the first hole. Take the slip knot, pick up one stitch. For the following stitches, pick up one stitch from each chain. As we pick up stitches, we also weave in the yarn tail. Third stitch. Fourth stitch. For kids, pick up 4 stitches. For bigger sizes, pick up 5 stitches. If you prefer a wider strap, you can pick up 4 to 6 stitches. Here, I will pick up 5 stitches. For adults, no need to tie. For bag handles, you can make it wider. That's all, okay? Now, turn to the wrong side. We will secure the yarn tail again. Knit the first stitch as a purl stitch. This is the first row. For the purl stitch, bring the yarn over. Press it down for 2 more stitches. Or you can use a tapestry needle to hide the yarn tail later. Either way it works. 2 stitches. The wrong side is harder to hide the yarn tail. Turn again and pick up 1 more stitch. Purl stitch on the wrong side. First we knit 2 rows. Ignore the yarn tail for now. Later we will use a tapestry needle to hide it inside. That works too. Turn to the right side. After picking up stitches in the previous step, knit 2 rows. On the wrong side, knit 1 row. Now this is the second row. The yarn tail is not tightened. Tighten the first stitch here. Now, we will just slide it over. Do not knit on the wrong side, just slide it over. Knit only from the right side. Knit all stitches. This is the third row. Just continue knitting on the right side. Okay, slide over. Keep knitting upwards. Usually, knit about 30 centimeters. For kids, if you want to tie a bow, you can knit it a bit longer. That's all okay. Tie it in the front and add a bow. If you want it to look nice, knit it longer or make it shorter. You can also attach a small pom-pom at the bottom. It depends on your preference. Just keep knitting upwards like this. Knit only on the right side. Do not knit the wrong side. Knit the first stitch as well. Okay, slide it over again. Here I am knitting with 5 stitches. After knitting, the back will form a rounded shape. The side stitches will pull together for the yarn tail. We will hide it inside using a tapestry needle. Pull the yarn across like this. After knitting the last stitch and the first stitch, they will be joined together. If we knit for stitches, it will be a round cord. With 5 stitches, there's an extra middle stitch, so it will be slightly flatter. With 6 stitches, it will be even flatter. This one is knitted with 6 stitches. The middle part is wider. This one is knitted with 5 stitches. Alright, you can finish the rest on your own. You know, the length, it should be at least longer than this short knitting needle. Alright, this length. Yes, the length should be longer than this short knitting needle. That's about 30 centimeters. Now, we will start binding off the yarn. Let's knit one more row. Alright, now we will bind off the yarn directly like this. Once we finish knitting here, we will bind off. If you want to add a pom-pom for kids, you can attach one at the bottom. Just tie a pom-pom to it. For binding off, we will use a tapestry needle to hide the yarn end. Alright, take out the tapestry needle. Thread the yarn end through the needle. Pull it through. First, tighten it. Pass it through one more time. Pull the yarn tightly. After pulling it tight, tie a knot here. Tie a secure knot. To hide the yarn end, thread it down through the center. Since the middle part is hollow, hide the yarn deeper inside. Pull it toward the back and tighten. Alright, this part is done. Now, cut off the excess yarn end. This way, the yarn end disappears. Now, let's pick up stitches on the other side. The yarn tail at the bottom, we will also hide it in the same way. Thread it upward through this hole. Pull it through to the center. This way, the yarn end will stay secure. Cut it off. The yarn end is now completely hidden. Here is the 5th stitch. Let's count first. Count before picking up stitches. Pick up the same number of stitches on both sides. We will pick up stitches from back to front. Alright, pull the yarn end through. Two stitches, 3 stitches, 4 stitches, 5 stitches. Alright, after picking up 5 stitches, the knitting method remains the same. For the first row, we can hide the yarn inside. For the first row, knit all stitches in purl. For the second row, knit purl stitches. For the third stitch, we do the same. Press the yarn down slightly. Tuck it inside. The 5th stitch, now we are on the right side. The knitting method is the same as the other side. Alright, for the first stitch, knit a knit stitch, second stitch, knit a knit stitch. From now on, we will knit all stitches on the right side. When we turn to the wrong side, we will purl for the first row. Knit all stitches in purl. For the rest, knit on the right side. Just continue knitting like this. Make sure both sides are of equal height. You can finish the rest on your own. It's quite simple. The knitting method remains the same. I'll leave the rest for you to complete. The technique is the same, just pull the yarn through and knit from the right side. Now, let's sew the ears. This side, where it's sewn, should stand up a bit. On this side, where it's not sewn, it should be softer. We use a double stitch technique. When securing, we stitch twice. So, this part should be a bit wider. Pinch and sew this part slightly. Sew both edges together. Now, let's go step by step on sewing the ear. This side is already sewn. This side is not yet sewn. So let's sew it. I'm using a different colored thread. This will make it easier for you to see how we hide the stitches. It will be clearer this way. I'm using a blue thread. It contrasts well with our yarn color. This way, I can better demonstrate how to hide the loose ends. Let's keep the middle part natural. Only sew the two edges and make them slightly smaller. Use a tapestry needle. Sew carefully along this section. Avoid making the stitches too loose. Otherwise, it won't look good. Just sew 2 stitches on each side. You can start from either side, whichever feels comfortable. It's up to you. Let's start from the ear. From this side of the ear. First, hide the loose thread inside. Tie a knot and pull it through. This way, the thread will be secured and won't come loose. Tie a knot and pull it through. Alright, now let's start sewing the ear. After adjusting the shape, insert the needle from one side. Insert through this point. Pass the needle through the gap between 2 stitches. Then, pull the thread to the back. This way, the ear's loose thread will be hidden inside. Now, let's continue. Next, pass the needle through the middle. Otherwise, the thread will slip back. Now, move to the next stitch. Skip 1 stitch. Insert the needle into the next gap. Then like this. Pull it through this way. This way, the thread will be hidden inside. Since I'm using a blue thread, it's visible. But if you use the same color as the yarn, it won't stand out. If it still doesn't look neat, you can add 1 more stitch on top. Don't pull too tightly on this top part. If it's too tight, it won't look good. Alright, just like that. Let the ear sit naturally. Now, we pull the thread downwards. Guide the thread downward. Then, secure it in place. Move the loose end to this side. You can either pull the thread directly or weave a few stitches underneath to secure it. Now, let's move to this side. First, adjust it properly. Decide where to insert the needle. For example, I want to sew the top part right here. So, we insert the needle here, then pull it through to the opposite side. Slightly tighten it. Now, from the bottom, move 1 stitch downward. Make sure to hide the loose thread. If it's exposed, it won't look good. Now, sew 1 more stitch at the bottom. Just sew in a way that looks neat. As long as the thread is hidden, it's fine. Once the stitches look neat from the outside, we can secure the loose ends inside. Again, hide the loose ends inside, tie a knot. Then secure it again. I won't hide this one further, for time's sake. Just tuck it along the edges. As long as a loose end is hidden, it's fine. Hiding it further will make it more secure. Alright, this is how the ear looks when finished. The top part stays naturally open. The sides are sewn smaller. This keeps the ear in place. And the bear hat is done. Thanks for watching. Wish you success in making it. Please like and subscribe me. Thank you.